Hey, it's Felice, totally awake, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, then welcome. Now, sorry for the wait, guys. Sorry for the wait, but hopefully this week I can get back on here and talk about all the things I've been wanting to talk about. Don't think that I don't know. Okay, you got Toni Morris and his son coming on camera. I want to talk about that. You got the leaked shunning video that they were supposed to play at the convention where the daughter is shunning the mom. You know I want to talk about that. But right now, what I want to talk about is Stephen Lett, okay? Now, what I saw on Reddit last night was that he had the audacity to get on stage and talk about facial expressions. You know, he was giving the Gilead talk, the Gilead graduation talk, 153rd, 154th, I don't know. And he's trying to tell people at the Gilead graduation, you know, not to be theatrical in their speech because they don't want to bring too much attention on themselves, you know, but rather focus on what's being said in the talk. I can't make this up, okay? The king of theatrics. What is this a joke? Let me play the clip.
As a caution, we don't want to be theatrical in our speaking. That means we wouldn't want to use extreme gestures or dramatic expressions, overly theatrical, even theatrical. Why? Because now you end up drawing attention to yourself, don't you? Rather than to what we're teaching. And that's emphasis in the wrong place, isn't it? As a caution, we don't want to be theatrical in our speaking. That means we wouldn't want to use extreme gestures or dramatic expressions, overly theatrical, even theatrical. Why? Because now you end up drawing attention to yourself, don't you? Rather than to what we're teaching. And that's emphasis in the wrong place, isn't it?
Emphasis in the wrong place, isn't it? It sure is, Stephen Lett. Emphasis in the wrong place. But Stephen Lett, you are the king of theatrics, though. You are the faces of faces. You are the biggest character that we've ever known. That's actually a person. Like, what? You're a real cartoon character. I mean, you are the king of entertainment. Like, you are the reason that they watch. Okay, Stephen Lett, you are the reason because you're gonna give them something extra to look at, you know, because what you saying don't make sense. It's not true. You know, it's not coming to pass. But how you look though, how stupid and goofy you look, that's giving people a good laugh, and that's just making them, you know, want to come back to just so they can laugh at you. Although some people are quite disgusted by your facial expressions and your theatrics, and they don't even want to look at you. And how can you blame them? Because you are quite, you know, you something else with all of them facial expressions that you be making. I mean, do we need to go down the list of all the facial expressions? I mean, I can't. There's no way I can capture them all, but we can definitely play some.
Of deadly plague. So the events unfolding around us are making clearer than ever that we're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly the final part of the final part of the last days, shortly before the last day of the last days. On the other hand, we'll see the wonderful blessings if we keep our integrity, we do not compromise. In fact, even if we're threatened with death, we're executed. If we see the big picture, we'll realize that Satan has just handed us. How possible? Now, if we think about it, we're not born as friends of God because we're born as sinful offspring of Adam. Actually, we think about it, we're born as enemies of God. Sometimes you'll hear people say of a little baby, look at that little angel. But more accurate would be to say, look at that little enemy of God.
And that's just a few. That's just a few. I mean, we could do this for hours, picking out talks and little screenshots of Lett's little silly face. Oh, it doesn't stop.
Like, what did he be doing? Like, his favorite one is when he stretches his eyes and he just and do all of that. Like, so it's cool when you do it. It's a problem when they do it.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
I went and I was reading some of the comments on Reddit, and I was thinking some of the same things. Like, somebody said somebody must be trolling him in the writing department, and that's what I said. Isn't apostate back there physically and mentally out? Any PMOs back there? Y'all wrote this script. Y'all wrote this script for the apostates, right? So we can come back and laugh at you because you wrong. You know you a straight hypocrite for this, Stephen Lett. This has to be a joke. Someone has to be really kidding here to have you, of all people, give this talk. Are you counseling yourself? Are you giving this talk because they counseled you first and thought that, now since we done counseled you, you go out and give this talk. So people already know that you a damn clown. So maybe they'll assume that, you talking to yourself too. You got to be talking to yourself too, because are you for real right now? Like, are you for real? Like, you put on a whole show. You cut up for the camera. You cuts up for the camera, okay? And you got the nerve to tell somebody about being theatrical. That's why, that whole meme was going around about you, Stephen Lett, where you talking about the last of the last of the last of the last of the last, the last of the last of the very last of the last second, the last days. Like, you even make up stupid stuff like that. That's theatrical. Adding all them lasses on there when we ain't on no lass. We haven't. We're not. We still here. You don't know. Y'all really try to make it seem like the pandemic came and that was it. This the last days, y'all. And my how things have turned around in the last few years. Things have we coming out of it. You know, people was walking around with masks. Now people not walking around with masks. So we can't believe nothing that you say. Yeah, we take you for a joke. We take you for a joke. So I guess you say you the only there's only room for one clown, huh? There's only room for one clown, and that's you, Stephen Lett, huh? It's cool when you do it. It's a problem when they do it.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
Come on now, you know you wrong for giving this talk. How hypocritical of you. Like, you can't be effing for real. I'm like, are you gotta be kidding me. I mean, I laughed and I was just like, you can't be serious. You literally can't be serious with giving this talk, talking about theatrics. When you're a complete clown of a character. I've never seen anyone ever speak the way you do. And it's sad because a lot of people, a lot of the Jehovah Witnesses, while some of them may be a little bit disgusted, most of them won't be. Most of them will think that, you know, that you just find this fine great brother. You just fine great brother. And someone said on Reddit that um they was asking they physically and mentally and relative what do they think about all of his theatrics. And that person that even mentioned that person that's in mentioned how he looks up to the sky when he gives a prayer. And so when the family member asked, well, how you feel about that? They said, I think it's pretty neat because it shows how close he feels to Jehovah. I thought we supposed to bow our head when we pray. Why is he looking up to the sky? Like, Who do he think he is? Like he really think, you know what I'm saying? He think he Jesus' brother or something. So he not talking to himself when he talking about the theatrics because he think, that's, it's okay for him to act like that. When we know we didn't already got proof, right? From his niece. His niece told us that he don't even act like that. That's just something that he do on stage. He putting on the show. He putting on, y'all. He is putting on. So we know he don't really act like that. But yet you feel like you can act like that. This is a part of it all. You know, it's okay for you to do it. It's really not. It's really not. And you distracting people. You distracting people looking crazy like that. Let me see what else they were saying on Reddit here. Let's see. Let's go to the comments because the comments, the nerve, the audacity, I can't even. And they talking about how fat his face look. Um, saying that he either got fat or has serious health issues. And then somebody saying they want to knock his double chin off. His effing double chin because they wasn't playing with him. Somebody say I'm not a doctor, but it looks like to me there could maybe be a problem with his kidneys. Man, I can't even find a comment, but someone was saying that somebody handed him the script and said, "Give this talk, or we'll Morris you." Yeah, told him Morris you. You was threatening Stephen Lett to give that hypocritical talk, or they was gonna Morris you, right? You was gonna be gone like smoke. Okay, poof, be gone, just like Toni Morris. We don't know what Toni Morris at. Where is Tony at? We are concerned about Tony. Where is Tony? Where is he? We ain't heard nothing from Tony. They got his son on there. What's that about? What y'all trying to do? Y'all ain't never had him on there before now. But now since Tony missing in action, you don't got no explanation. I mean, how they just gonna do that? Delete his videos, no explanation. They got his son up there. They got Tony. Some people really believe they got Tony. They holding him hostage. Yeah, I'm gonna show this where somebody just in this little talk made screenshots of how theatrical he's being just in this little clip, and I'll put that on the screen. Too funny.
So, yeah, the comments aren't necessarily in order the way I'm reading them. Some of them I just had to, say off memory, but I can't necessarily find them while I'm scrolling. So, yeah, the screen doesn't necessarily match. Some parts do.
Somebody say, "What a joke! He's got more rubber-faced expressions than Jim Carrey." Somebody says, "That's what I think this is. He's trolling us. He knows he can get away with saying anything. He looks directly into the camera for a split second, and it's chilling." This is a meta self-awareness. No way this wasn't done on purpose. It's their attempt to troll the people on this sub, making fun of his face. Yeah, they stay trolling apostates though. That Jehovah's Witnesses, they know what the Jehovah's Witnesses be talking about, and they stay trolling Jehovah's Witnesses. They basically want to let us know we don't give a f what y'all talking about, and we'll make a video about it. Chew on that. Chew on that, they say. Someone said, "Do you think Sanderson's under the podium holding a pow pow to his chest?" And then someone says, "I don't think you can hide a Sanderson behind a podium." Mark Sanderson, nah, I don't think he's gonna fit behind no podium either. That's not, nah, he ain't doing that. All righty then. Well, someone had that meme up here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call projection. Someone says, "Is this a joke? He must know people think he's a clown." This coming from Mr. Theatrics himself, LOL. On a side note, is it just me or is he looking quite unwell? See, they concerned about you, Stephen Lett, okay? You know what I'm saying? You getting on here being funny because you know you a clown. So you getting on here talking this foolishness. That's what you doing. Because you know you gonna get his talk. He's still looking crazy. Even though you try to tone it down just a little bit, but you could barely control yourself because you just been doing it for so long, you know.
And we can expect that he will continue to give us all of the Lett's faces and theatrics.
Someone says between this one and Tony getting to talk about smoke, it feels like someone is messing with them. Next, it'll be Splain giving a talk about loving your enemies. Yeah. Or Splain having to explain the new overlapping generations, but this time in a way that makes sense to someone with an IQ greater than 75. Oh my goodness. That everybody is talking about him and his weight gain in his face and he's looking unwell. They think he might be on steroids. They is concerned, boy, we finna lose all the governing body members, okay? You know what I'm saying? There's finna be new faces in this mug because all of them, they getting sick and tired and getting wrapped up in smoke like Toni Morris. Toni Morris is wrapped up in some smoke somewhere. Poof, be gone. All right, I'm just reading this stuff on here. But yeah, he's known as Rubberface. Rubberface Lett. Someone must have trolled him very hard. Who better to give such advice? I mean, the only thing I can remember about anything he says is his theatrical delivery. Exactly. Yeah, this is a trip. Anyway, I don't have much else to say about this. You know, it's a trip, right? It's comical. It's so hypocritical. What do we say about this? What y'all think? Okay? Let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know what else you want me to talk about next. All right. It's Felice, totally awake. I'll be back with another one. Bye.